Hi there, TheNamesNiko, and today I'll be covering patch notes 1.23, which came out on June 5th, 2024, which is the day I'm recording. Well, I'm recording this on June 4th, 2024. Anyways, I really felt like I just did a patch notes video, but regardless, let's just go over the new changes. So first up, we have the new character, Darko, coming out this patch. The bat-wielding loan shark is making Lumia his new business ground. Will cost standard 9,908 coin for the first 2 weeks post-release, and then will be available in rank starting June 11th. That's what he looks like in the character overview. Fortunately, they've changed base stats so much, I actually don't have a good feel for what's considered like good base stats or like average base stats. I believe 3.55 is this. It either is the standard melee movement speed or is 0.05 slower. Again, they've changed it so much I just don't remember at this time. Main masteries are attack speed, basic attack, amp, which makes sense considering his kit. I did look over his kit briefly, but that's all I've done for the patch so far. So his passive Sly Thief, Darko performs a basic attack, stealing 4 to 10% of his target's defense for 3 seconds. This goes on a 8-second cooldown. This allows him to, well, when it says stealing, to me it means that he gains the defense, right? So it makes him a little bit more durable, and if he just steals, they would lose the defense in return, so they also are less durable. Loan Shark is Q. Darko's movement speed increases by 15% for 2 seconds when he moves towards an enemy test subject, same as like Marcus Q. His next basic attack deals 20 to 100 plus 30% attack power plus 5% target's max HP as additional skill damage and leaves a mark on the target for 5 seconds. Using the skill on a marked target increases damage dealt by 50%. That's quite significant. So you basically want to use like multiple Qs in a row because you leave a mark on the target for 5 seconds after using Q. Cooldown's 3 seconds. So you want to Q and then like Q pretty much as soon as you can once it's off cooldown. SP cost is 40. I wonder if people will build a little bit of CDR on him because this doesn't actually have a this doesn't say it's not impacted by CDR at all. Normally if it is, they'll mention it here, so you could get this even lower to get it down to like 2 seconds. Now you can see what this looks like here. He just like kind of kicks them. That's kind of funny, but yeah. Got my money is W. Darko gets a shield that absorbs 50 to 150 plus 40% of attack power. Damage that absorbs 150 damage. I don't know, damage seems kind of weird, the word here. Anyways, he absorbs that and slows enemy test subjects nearby by 20 to 30% for 1 second. And he gains 6% of max HP additional shield per enemy test subject hit and steals 1 to 5 of their attack power for 3 seconds. This seems quite strong, so if you hit 3 people like in a team fight, you can get up to 15 additional attack power if you max this out. The range is 4 meters, so there is a max enemy target hit which is 4, which means actually you could go up to 20 if there's multiple teams. I don't know, like this is enemy test subjects. Yeah, if it's like a multiple team fight, then you could get up to 20 AP, which is still quite a bit. Shield lasts 3 seconds. This is a 10-second base cooldown. It doesn't change with level, and SP cost is just a flat 80. It's interesting that he doesn't have any like scaling cooldowns. It's all fixed costs. Okay, except for his E and obviously R. So yeah, this seems quite strong. We'll see how it is in game once he comes out. It's pay time. Darko dashes forward and slams the ground, dealing 60 to 280 plus 85% attack power as skill damage and knocking enemies airborne, not knocking back, sorry, for 0.5 seconds. Damage area circle radius is 2.2 meters, not that big overall. As you can see, this is pretty close. Movement range is 4 meters. That's how far you dash. So this is, it's like a reverse. Anyways, I'm not gonna never mind. Movement speed is 15 meters per second, and cooldown goes from 14 to 10 seconds. SP cost is fixed 80. So yeah, this is Honestly, this is really good attack power scaling, and the base value seems quite high, but it is on a medium length cooldown. It's not a really long cooldown, but not super short. I'd say, yeah, pretty much once, maybe twice per fight, depending on how long the fight is, obviously. And yeah, I just said does decent damage too. And of course, here's his ultimate intimidation tactic. Darko grabs the enemy character as he moves forward, suppresses them, and then slams them to the ground. Enemies nearby take 100 to 350 plus 55% attack power, plus the slam target's max HP is 25%, has skill damage, and are slowed by 80% for 0.5 seconds. Range 2.5 meters, suppress duration 1 second, movement range while suppressing 6 meters, cooldowns 90 to 60 seconds, and costs 100 SP. So you can see what it does here. This is very, I'd say, I don't know, to me it seems like very good, and it helps you get to the backline faster, because generally what happens is like a tank comes to the front, and this does the slam target's max HP by 25%, so the tank obviously generally builds HP based items, so this is actually going to do a lot of damage if you actually slam the tanky character and the team, and then you move towards the back line with it. So I mean, obviously it does skill damage, but the fact that a lot of his scalings are based off target's max HP seems really good to, in my opinion. Like, yeah, this could be insane. Like, imagine like a 4000 HP tank and you just do 1000 plus 1000 damage. Obviously it does skill damage, so it's gonna get reduced, but like, that's honestly kind of insane. So yeah, this is just very good as a tank, very good at gap closing, and overall his kit looks quite strong to me, at least so far. His E you're probably only going to use on one target, maybe two, if again they're standing really close, just because 2.2 meters is not big at all in this game. And yeah, he has like his own shielding, and he removes the target's defense and gains it himself. So yeah, he has like a lot of self-sustain in his kit, and he does, to me it seems like he does like a decent amount of damage. We'll see how it is in game to confirm if it is true or not. This increased by 50%, so it can go up to 150. Plus you're gonna stack attack power, attack speed, and maybe crit damage as well. He might be a crit rate character too. I could see that. Unless his skills are on pretty low cooldown, but I'm sure he'll be doing a lot of auto attacking, so I would actually expect attack power, crit, attack speed as his main stats if you're gonna build him on day one. I'll be trying him out day one, and I'll post my first impressions video on the channel for you guys to see what I think about the character, any combos that I end up coming up with, and yeah. I actually think he's going to be one of the stronger release characters. Hopefully I'm not wrong with this. A lot of like preseason, near the end of preseason, well, preseason's right. Early access is what I meant to say. Near the end of early access, like the later seasons, a lot of the characters were quite weak. Since the official game is launched, the characters that have come out actually have been very meta. Like we've had, like Abigail, I haven't seen much this season so far, but she has been very prevalent the last couple of seasons. Debbie and Marlene have been very prevalent, very strong. And Alonzo, I think he's actually really strong. Korea doesn't really play him that much, so he's not really touched at all, but I think he's actually quite good. And who else has been new? Lenny has kind of been on and off. The supports in this game, it's just a support role in general, kind of struggles, especially because like the pure tank characters generally do a decent amount of damage, or they're more disruptive and just allow like an actual backline to do damage. Well, yeah, I just say the support role in this game is not that good in general, because like we also have Charlotte, who came out last season, and she's like, she's okay. So yeah, I just think overall the characters that have come out lately have been good, so I'm hoping that will at least be the same for a little bit. Hopefully it's not too overpowered, but again, we will see when he comes out. If New skins and emotes is Summertime Kiara is going to come out on June 11th. I hate summer, and yeah, you can see that's her skin. To me, this is more like a fan service type skin, so I'm sure it will sell well. Darko emotes will also be available. This is the first time I feel like they've done emotes for the character that is coming out. Then I wish they'd also release a skin day one with new characters. They said they were going to do that eventually, and then something happened. It was trying like Piolo's launch. They said that, so it was like early access, but they've never done that, which is a little unfortunate because I think skin sales would be better in that sense, but whatever. I mean, obviously it's fine. Now, Battle Maids token ending notice. This is not last season's battle pass, but 2 seasons ago. The tokens that you got will be expired and no longer be available after June 5th's maintenance, which is tomorrow night. Exchange your remaining tokens before 1.23 maintenance on June 5th for the following currency. So you can use 3 Battle Maid tokens to get 2 of the change tokens. And you can also get 1 Battle Maid's token is equal to 158 coin. The list is kind of sucks in my opinion, but hopefully, ideally you just change it all to change tokens. It's the best thing you can do. And yeah, so make sure you do that as soon as you see this video, or like, I don't know, like before the patch ends, pretty much. You have like 24 hours to do this. I've already done this for myself a couple weeks ago because I've seen it in the patch notes already. So after they've expired, they'll become invalid. You'll not be able to provide any assistance. So yeah, just make sure you do this as soon as possible. Systems, so add augments in game preparation phase. Solid augments may have different utility according to the weather. As a result, we're allowing players to edit their augments during the game prep phase, making it more convenient for experienced players to modify them and match their assigned weather and team. I'd say this is generally not impactful. The only one I'd say is maybe healing factor during, I think it's what, sandstorms, that sandstorms have a base healing reduction on, so healing's just not as good then. So maybe you wouldn't want to use something like healing factor during sandstorm because your healing's just going to be reduced no matter what. But everything else is like, I can't really think of being that impactful to like needing to be changed. Not that I can think of, at least the top of my head. But this is still nice to do. Like if you're someone like me who plays lots of different characters, it's easy to just switch up the augments. So I do like this change. Now when you select the save plan in the game prep phase, you can also edit your augments from that save plan. However, these changes will only apply to the current game and will not affect the original save plan. Yeah, this is a good change. I very much enjoy this change. Weather changes. Foggy is now back in some modes. Sub-weather Foggy will now be available in normals, customs, and versus AI. It will still not be available in ranked. I never actually experienced Foggy, but a lot of people are saying this is just like too broken because you couldn't see pings on the map at all, which I completely understand. So yeah. And they're adding SP regen effect to Rainy. Okay, so that's new. So you also get 100% SP regen and Rainy. So yeah, that would also be a change for the system. So you probably don't need to run endorphins if it's Rainy. Endorphins, if you don't know, you get SP for doing damage to a target, but if there's 100% SP regen just by the weather condition, then you probably don't need endorphins at all. Like, that's a new one. That would make sense to also why they would change it. So it might hurt getting hit by lightning, but it also has its benefits. The current of the lightning strike recharges the V of energy, granting test subjects movement speed for a moment. So now if you hit by lightning, you also get your movement speed increased by 15% for 5 seconds. Getting continually struck by lightning doesn't stack, and the duration of the effect is just reset. Okay. Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, so maybe it will just move. Like, obviously, if you're just running away from something, maybe you can use lightning to advantage, but lightning's completely RNG, so we kind of feel bad if someone's low HP, and because you can't die from lightning anymore, so they just keep getting hit by lightning and running away from you. You can't catch up to them. That'd be a little bit of a feels bad. Crafting beverages in the campfire. You'll now be able to craft high rarity beverages easily in the campfire. Bring your common rarity beverages by the campfire to craft high rarity beverages. We're also adding options to get SP, so weather, yes. Rainy SP regen. Some equipment will offer SP regen. So this is new. I guess they don't want SP to be as relevant in the game. like getting more like compared to like other MOBAs such as League of Legends, which I mentioned in like the channel update video that I've been playing a bunch of lately. Like SP is like a huge factor of this game. Only a couple characters really have SP regen problems, but it definitely feels like I said, at least League of Legends characters generally have SP. Like SP is actually a resource you need to manage. In this game, it's generally not. Again, there's a few exceptions for characters, but most of the time it's not an issue. So I guess they pretty much don't want it to have an issue, which in that case, I don't understand why you do these changes. If you don't want people to have SP problems, then why have SP in the first place? That's just my main question. That's all. So, unknown number of teams remaining. We're no longer displaying the number of teams remaining at a specific point in the game, making it difficult to predict other team situations based on the number of teams left in the second half of the game. So it's applied to day 6 or when 3 or less teams are remaining. I normally use this change, or like I use this normally, but if it's that late in the game, or even like 3 or less teams, then like 3 or less teams was the more impactful change. Day 6, like if you're day 6, if you get the day 6, then most likely there's already less than 3 teams, or 3 or less than 3. Maybe there's 4 at max, but day 6 is quite late anyway, so this is kind of like a whatever change. I do use this a lot in ranked though. Like I'll see like, oh, there's 5 teams left and there's only 15 players. That means if you have whatever your number of players left on your team, and then you do 4 teams, and then you take the, I don't know, 15 minus however you guys have left. So say you have all 3 of you are alive, so you know there's 4 teams left, and each team has 12 members, which means that all teams are full, right? So that you can do math like that. So if there's like only 8 teams left with 5 teams, and then you have all your team, then you know each team's just a solo member, which that's not really going to happen, but you can do the math like that, and I find it very helpful to know what you're going into. Kill bonus. It's currently hard to get rid of down enemies within restricted areas or during the temporary safe zone phase, so we're changing the circumstances when the kill bonus restriction area count restoration is applied. So kill bonus, restricted area count restoration is enemy kill to enemy downed. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess this is fair. Honestly, that's a fine change. Revival cost increase. We're added the function for team members to use their credits to revive allies. The average number of revivals have increased, leading to a higher number of surviving teams during the temporary safe zone. As a result, we're increasing the cost of revival to make it a bit more difficult to revive allies. Honestly, I completely understand this change. It is definitely easier because you can use combined credits instead of just obviously your own credits. Team invites and friend request improvements. Team invites will no longer be canceled by pressing the escape button. Instead, press 1 to accept the reject. That's a good change, I think, overall, because oftentimes I'll hit escape to escape menus that pop up, and then I end up canceling teammates' requests to join. So we're also changing the display of invites to appear as a push notification. The number of invites will be displayed when there are more than 1 invite. Okay, so fair enough. No friend requests and team invites will be displayed. So yeah, there seems fine. Your friends will not be able to see when you're replaying. Okay. Oh, when you're watching a replay. Okay, then sure. Rank tier display improvements. Your rank tier display will now show how much RP you currently have and how much you need to be promoted. So yeah, there you go. You can see like that. Augments Havoc Carnivore increases by 50. Fortification. By the way, Carnivore, this is honestly a better change because a lot of the meat foods were higher than 60 to 50, so this was kind of weak. Fortification, Ironclad, damage taken, reduction is actually melee. Okay, it looks like it's just being... No, it's being nerfed, okay, because they changed how this is phrased. This percentage sign should be after this. There's this parenthesis. So instead of being 15 times level times 1.5, it's now 10 times level times 1. So I mean, it's pretty much just 10 times level. There's no point to put the times 1 here at all. And they're making it a lot weaker for ranged characters and a little less weaker, weaker, or not as weak for melees, but still weaker than it was before. And Healing Wind, tactical skill level 3. Module enhancement now is going from 15 defense increase to 20 because, yeah, Healing Wind felt not as good as taking like Emote as an example because they both heal, but Emote also shreds the enemy's defenses. So obviously Healing Wind's instant and Emote is not instant, but if you like plan accordingly, like you would never really have issues with Emote, like unless you get like Bush Cheese is the real exception. So yeah, now we're on to character changes. Nadine, despite multiple adjustments to get her stacks, after limiting her passive stacks, we're buffing her ultimate to compensate for its still disappointing peak damage. Yes, this Nadine still sucks because getting her stacks cap at 200, which one is pretty easy to get to 200, because after the stack changes they did in like 1.0, is yeah, she just makes her incredibly weak. But they need the capper stacks. I do agree with that change. It's just the amount they chose at, they need to just find the right balance for her numbers. So it's going up by 10 base damage, and skill amp's going up by, oh no, sorry, extra base attack power is going by 10%, and skill amp's going up by 5%. So I think it's a fine change. Nathan Pawn is the damage of Nathan Pawn's passive slow shutter, who currently has difficulty hitting targets to improve his low damage. So I think that's honestly fine too. I don't see much Nathan Pawn these days, and he's kind of an interesting champion to play, so that's fair enough. Nikki, we're adjusting Nikki's Q slugfest to deal higher damage as her average damage and score gain are currently underperforming. I actually won the one Nikki game I played and ranked, but it was a very interesting game, very slow, but we were very ahead. So when I say mean slow, I mean like all the objectives we got were free. We just farmed the whole game, and we were all like like full gold items, and we just kind of, yeah, it was a slow game. And but anyways, yeah, she's just getting more skill amp by 10% on her Q2. So if you hit someone with Q, there's like a little like cone that goes in front of you that does damage. It's just that damage that's increasing. It's pretty minor overall. I mean, 10% skill amp is still like decent, but it's nothing like super major, because again, you have to hit Q in order to get Q2 anyway. So Leon's stats are currently high, so to prevent him from eliminating opponents too quickly, we will decrease his passive damage to his parents. Leon's always either like too strong, too weak. That's kind of how he is. I was seeing a bunch of Leon clips on like Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and it's been very funny to see. So I do understand why this is being changed. It's just the flat damage of his passive is going from 20 to 80 to 20 to 60. If you don't know what his passive damage is, it's basically whenever he's on water, he does bonus damage by auto attacking. So they're just decreasing that bonus damage he gets for attacking on his puddles. Lead Island, we will increase the damage reduction effect of her W to keep her durability. Yes, I played the Island recently and I felt like I was dying in like 2 seconds. But she also does a lot of damage too. We also increase Q, Spirited Kicks damage, enabling a greater impact against enemies. I mainly just felt her durability was too low. That's why I kind of don't like the Island as much these days. But I felt her damage was okay, or at least I thought it was fine, honestly. I just thought it was, you kept just dying too quickly, but yeah, it's fine. So the damage is going up basically by 5% on the attack power scaling, but the tipsy damage is going up by 10% attack power. So if you pretty much play an island correctly, you should be always using tipsy for every skill you use. So like this shouldn't be an issue. And shrink up skill damage taken reduction is going from 40 to 60 to 50 to 70. So 10% less skill damage taken when you use your W, which is very nice. Rio, after the addition of new items, Rio's been showing high stats. I do agree. She's actually currently the best, I say ADC, attack damage carry, or like best auto attacker in the game. So she honestly needed to be nerfed. So we're making up for that by nerfing, I don't know why it says his, but her basic attacks and survivability. Basic attack amp per bow is going from 1.7 to 1.5, and her E cooldown is going up by 1 second flat across the board. Yeah, I just thought her damage was too high. I mean, Sora, they changed Sword. It used to be that if you hit like, I think that if I remember correctly anyway, it used to be that if you hit someone with E, it would like reduce the cooldown by like 40%, but they changed that to be on her W instead of her E. So yeah, and you don't build CDR on Rio at all, so this will actually be impactful, or should be a little bit more impactful. We're nerfing her Mai's base durability since she's showing overly high average score. So she's losing 30 flat max HP and 3 defense. Okay, sure. And it's fine. Marcus, our strongman, has actually been underperforming, so we're helping him out a bit with his Q damage to increase his potential to engage in battles. So Q, like I mentioned with Darko, his Q gets movement speed if you run towards an enemy. So you just pick Q and then you'd obviously gain a little movement speed. So they're doing it, and then he does additional 3% additional HP damage compared to before, which since you use your Q like all the time, this is actually going to be pretty significant. And you get 3 strikes with Q, so it's more like a 9% additional HP damage. So yeah, this is actually a very big change. Bernice, we are increasing Bernice's Q leg shot as he's currently showing a low average damage and score gain. Additionally, we are increasing his E movement speed effect to allow him to approach enemies more quickly. Bernice was like OP like last season. I don't know what happened to him. He just sucks right now. But yeah, so they're gonna buff his damage by get 10% more attack power scaling on Q, and his E movement speed increase is going up by a flat 2% to catch up. I think it's fine. Again, Bernice is not that good of an ADC compared to like Rio's the best right now, then Katja. As someone who plays both Rio and Katja, I've watched like their stats a little bit more carefully, and yeah, Rio's like top 3, maybe was top 5 most played character, and then Katja's like top 10, maybe top 15. Bianca, we are reducing Bianca's HP consumption and increasing the return when her skill combos are successful to help her get better, or to help her better withstand enemies when she approaches them. So HP costs 2% of her current HP per 0.2 seconds is now just 1%. So yeah, this is by 50% reduced. So yeah, this is actually quite significant. And her ultimate, she is doing like 10% more of the minimum damage to 20% more as maximum damage. Yeah, that's actually quite significant. So, well, maybe 20% is more significant. The 10% obviously a little bit less, but this seems actually pretty big. Her ultimate's already like a pretty decent nuke anyways, but you can walk out of it. And before it used to make you grounded if you're on it, so it was like awful. But now it just slows you, so you could use movement speed. So I understand the higher damage because you can dodge it a lot more easily or get out of her ultimate a lot easier than it is, so you should be punished if you would do standard ultimate more. So I think that's a completely fair change at least until we'll see how it actually is in game. Charlotte, as I said, Charlotte kind of sucks right now. All the supports do, so they're gonna buff her damage a bit, so that's fair. Selene is currently showing a low pick rate in score gain, so we're increasing Plasma Bob's cooldown reduction effect to allow her to use her skills more frequently. So yeah, Selene, yeah, as pretty much I said, Selene used to be a lot harder than she is now, but she's still not like the easiest character to play, so you're gonna expect a lower pick rate on average compared to like most champs. The cooldown reduction, you're going from 25 to 45 to 30 to 50, so just 5% more across the board if you do her combos correctly. And yeah, so I think that's fine. Sua, I hate it. I hate this champion. Like, can we just delete her from the game? Sua has currently shown a slightly weak performance during early game, so we're increasing her base HP and reducing her R's initial school channel. Okay. So she gets 50 more max HP. So they nerfed Mai by 30, by the way, and then they're gonna buff Sua by. Sua has more max HP than Mai does at this point. Like, she's already a drain tank. Like, and her R cooldown is gonna go down by 6 seconds at level 1 and 3 by level 2. This is going to be more impactful because if you don't know, if Sua hits someone with her passive, or like If she hits someone with her enhanced auto attack, she reduces the cooldown of all her skills, including her ultimate. So it will be up even faster now than it currently is, which is very sad, in my opinion. I just hate this champion, so yes, I could be. I'm definitely biased. Um, this champion is just dumb. Sylvia, nerfing her W skill to limit her ability to easily hit and take control with the skill, as she's holding high average damage and score gain stats. So her finish line skill amp is going down by 10%. I think they buffed this recently. I don't know why. I just remember something about the Sylvia W recently. So it's interesting that they are just nerfing it again. I could be wrong on this, and maybe I just made this up, but I feel like I remember them buffing the W damage not that long ago. Aya, we're increasing Aya's durability to improve her stability as she's underperforming in high tiers. Pista Aya has been specifically lacking, so we're increasing her weapon mastery. So I'm surprised it's pistol over sniper. Most people haven't been playing sniper the last few seasons, but if pistol's the one lacking, it's kind of interesting. 0.2% skill amp increase per level, so she'll get an additional 10% skill amp at level 20, which is not bad at all. HP is going up by 3 per level, so she'll get 30 more HP at level 20. Or no, I can't do math. 60 more HP at level 20, which is 30 more at 10. Which is like, okay, sure, I guess we'll make her more durable. I guess they want to make it. I was like, why don't they just increase the passive shield? That would only buff really AR Aya, so I guess they want it to be like an overall buff. So yeah, this is like fine. Isaac, yeah. After defense reduction effects have been added to his E2, which is what I mentioned in the last patch, he's been extremely overperforming, so reducing his damage. Yeah, who would have guessed? Anything that does defense shred is generally really strong in this game. So, and that includes to Isaac, and he's like the second most picked character right now. As again, I mentioned it in the last patch notes that he's been doing really well and is still doing well. So they're going to nerf his damage on E2 from base 20 lost at all levels, and his attack power scaling is going down by 5%. Well, I think this is enough. Probably not, but because it's only one spell, and it's still the defense shred is the main thing, so I don't think it'll be enough. We'll have to see. I mean, we don't have to like obviously change everything, but 20 base, I mean 20 base is not bad, but and top of 5%, but I don't think it'll be enough at all. Alonso, we're helping him out, carrying out longer fights. I said I think Alonso's actually not bad. He's just not played that much, at least in Korea, so I see why they're buffing him, but I think he was honestly fine how he is. Jan, we're increasing, or Jan as people say it. It's the J. It's pronounced as a Y. It's Jan. Anyway, we're increasing his durability and his Q's damage. So the defense per level is going up. His defense per level is going from 2.9 to 3.3, and they don't say why they're increasing his Q damage. I think actually he is a bit on like the lower performing end, so I think this is fine. So they're increasing his damage by, or 2% of the enemy's max HP, so it's a little bit stronger against bulkier characters, and it's going up by 1% more for the Q2, which is I think overall like pretty minor, but we'll see how much of a change that is. Aiden, we're helping him out by making his E skill more usable, as his current pick rate and average score gains are low. Yeah, okay, so the range of E is the backstep. I guess that when I say his range, I guess how far the projectile can hit, and he can dash a bit farther with the E2. Okay, so yeah, I think it just makes it easier for you to get in on enemies, which I think is fine. Elena, we're buffing the Ice Queen since she's been slightly underperforming in low to mid tiers, getting 4 more HP per level and 0.2 more defense per level. Hopefully she doesn't become like the unkillable tank like she used to be, like I think 1 or 2 seasons ago. But yeah, it's fine. I think right now, but the best tanks, so they're saying Mai is up there. 11's actually not played that much right now. I mean, mean, I could just check Dak, but see, for tanks right now, the strongest is actually Lennox, Kiara, kind of, not fully, but I say kind of, and Magnus. Those are the strongest tanks, but actually, like, tanks aren't that strong right now. Just looking at like all the characters that are meta, they're not actually that good at this point in time. Well, they're fine, they're okay, but they're not like meta defying. So yeah, I guess it makes sense to buff Elena. Yuki, we're increasing the damage of Yuki's Q from head to toe to enhance his combat abilities, as he's been really underperforming in high tiers. Yeah, and Yuki's a very popular character, so if he's not being picked, it means that he really sucks. And he's not being picked, so he's not good at all. His damage is going up by a flat 20 across all levels. I think that's honestly fine. Ava, right at the start of the rank season, Ava's stats looked like, or took a toll. We're reverting the change to her weapon mastery, increasing her durability. I don't remember seeing what this was. I'm sure I read it when I read the patch last time, but yeah, that's okay. They're just doing a revert, whatever, going up by 0.3 mastery and getting 3 HP per level. So here, Portia here's not been having a good time since the new season started, so we're helping him out a bit by getting 5% more skill amp on his W. Gondiva, I probably did not say that right at all. That's the, okay, his W is spammed a bunch, so 5%. Might not seem like a lot, but it is because of how often he uses it. So if he gets to mark someone with his Q, then you can use this, I think, I don't remember, is it 3 or 4 times you can use it? And as long, I believe it's 3, but it might be 4 times. And if you use your Q again, it kind of like refreshes. There's like a stack counter underneath them. I haven't played Sahir in a long time, so I may be saying misinformation, but the main point I'm trying to say is he spams the skill a bunch because that's his main source of damage. Well, his Q does a decent amount of damage, but this is probably like the skill's still more damaging, so 5% is actually quite significant. Jackie, dual sword Jackie has been underperforming, so we're buffing her. Jackie's a character that almost all weapons play the same. The like some of his axe plays a little bit differently for Jackie. So dual swords is generally the higher damaging one, but they kind of, but she builds the exact same with like two-handed and dagger. They build all the same. So if dual swords is bad, it's probably something else is fine, and just all the Jackie mains are playing the other weapon. Jenny, we're increasing the early power of Jenny's main ability to enhance her contribution to early engagements, giving her more stability in her plays, by reducing her passive cooldown and increasing her durability. So her durability, they just said that's what they're doing. So it's going up by 4 HP per level. Her passive cooldown's going down from 120 to 90. That's quite significant. I mean, you're gonna see this pretty much activate every fight, almost, unless she does like a lot of back-to-back fights. This is quite significant, though. Allows her to be more of a character in more fights, and her E is for main damage, mainly like the passive, the third auto attack doing more damage. Is going from, which is what this is getting increased by 20 flat across all levels. So yeah, it's pretty. I said that it's like not a big nerf. I think Isaac had that loss, but it's not a bad change at all. But I think passive is the most significant change, though, for sure. So Tsubame, we're increasing Tsubame's durability and mobility so she can create more stable plays. Yeah, she's not good of an assassin right now. There are a lot of good assassins. She's just not one of them. Defense per level is going up by 0.2 in her W. Tsubame is honestly the character I know the least about because I didn't play when she came out, so I do apologize for not really. This character, I won't be able to tell you this is a good or bad change. I mean, she's getting buffed, so it seems like a good change, but I can't tell you the extent of the buff. So our movement speed increase going from 10 to 20 to 20 to 30, so that's 10%. Well, it's like 100% more at level 1 and like 50% more at max level. When I say like that, I don't mean obviously the going up by 50, like it's going to 50%. I'm saying, you know what I mean. 50% of 20 is 10s, and that's how much she's gaining. So that's what I mean. Her reuse range is going from 5.5 meters to 6 meters, so allows her the gap close a little bit better. So I think it's good as someone who's supposed to be like more of an assassin character. So Camillo, we're helping Camillo with his durability by increasing his HP and the shield from his passive, so 4 HP per level, and his shield passive is getting the scaling increased by 10% of his attack power, which not bad at all. Katja, rolling back one of the changes we made on the last patch that left Katja overly weak. Kind of surprising to say that, because I believe she's like top 15 best characters right now, or at least most characters. So this is kind of interesting that we're reverting this change, but well, I guess it whatever. Carla, reducing Carla's R, shackling anchor slow effect, and her W sentry recall damage to keep in check her skill combo power, or her skill combos power. Sentry recall damage is going down by what is this? Yeah, by 5% more skilling. It's not that much, to be honest. W, that's the path. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, the W is the chain pullback that she does, which scales with Carla. Yeah, Carla's one of the interesting characters that actually is like a crit scaling with also skilling amp. She's so you build her very uniquely, and her ultimate slow is going down by 10% by all levels. So pretty decent nerf. This again, the W, this effect is a little bit more amplified because you can pull up to it's 2 chains back. For some reason I'm thinking it's 3 chains. I think it's only 2. I haven't seen / played Curlin, but so it's 5 to 15% damage decrease technically, because generally when you use your W, you're going to use it to pull multiple chains, not just one. So yeah, Kathy's the best assassin in the game right now, and they are nerfing her because of it. Honestly, fair enough. So the additional basic attack of 60% for skill amp is now going down to 55. So it's the enhanced attack. Yeah, it's the enhanced attack from her Q passive, or I guess it's not really a passive. It's like after she's using Q, it's an enhanced attack. So that's based off her skill amp, and they're nerfing that. So I think that's honestly fine. Chloe's actually really good right now. So Chloe's been showing a strong performance across all areas. I agree. We're reducing Nina's additional stats of her passive, decreasing the power of the skills used by Nina, and making it easier to eliminate Nina. Because yeah, it feels like a 4v3 when you fight a Chloe team at this time. So Nina is going from 5 to 15 scaling to 4 to 10. You max this first on Chloe, so this is like actually a decrease in attack power, and additional defense is going from 10 to 50 to 10 to 40, and it doesn't matter at level 1, but again, you're gonna maxing this first, so this is gonna be where it actually noticeable. And Nina's additional HP is going from 200 to 400 to 200 to 300, and yeah, so that's a pretty big nerf to Nina. And Nina on command, which the Q is the one that makes Nina spin on top of you, if I remember correctly, and that's going down by 10% of Nina's attack power. And since her attack power is also being nerfed here, it's gonna hit not nearly as hard this time. So Tazia said last patch she was the worst character in the game, excluding like multiple weapon types, so they are gonna buff her since she sucks. And her stiletto Q, enhanced Q damage is going up by 5%, and the explosion damage is going up by 5%. The Q, Tazi is another character I don't play much, so I don't actually know her kit fully. The E's dash, the W's the wall. A Q is just the one that, yeah, she just like chucks a shard at you. So yeah, this is the one she kind of spams a bunch more, so this is gonna be a little bit more noticeable. We'll see if this actually puts her in meta at all. Like I said, there's a lot of good, like, I call them assassin characters, but it's more like burst characters. Hansi is like one of them. So it's kind of hard to compete with her versus like Kathy, who actually can like dive backline access. So Fiora is not looking good. Her stats across all weapon types are low, so we're increasing her durability by increasing her defense. We're also enhancing her passive Touche's movement speed effect to help her better manage distance, and enhancing her overall power by increasing the damage of her Q, Fente, or Fent, because there's no accent on the E. Font, I don't know. Skill damage per rapier, so they're buffing rapier mainly, which was the main one before, or like before. It's kind of changed depending on which weapon's good, because since they reworked her to pretty much using only like scaling up on our skills. They used to play 2H as like an auto attacker, but they changed it so now she's only like a scaling up character. Rapier was the main one. Spear was the main one for a while, and then obviously it's been changed around. But yeah, it's just because Rapier has more mobility, that's all. The scaling up is going up on Rapier by 0.3% per level. Defense per level is going up by 0.4. Her passive movement speed increase is going up by flat 10 or flat 5% per level, or per level of the passive. And her Q's damage increase is going up by 10% scaling up. The edge damage, which you should be hitting most of the time anyways if you are a good Fiora player, is going up by 5% more damage. This spell does a lot if you obviously do your spacing properly. So, and they said like by doing this, it should help a little bit with that as well. We're just seeing her power as the adjustments made to in last patch made her overly powerful. Actually, I haven't seen much Heart at all. I said it's mainly been Rio. Rio's been like the dominant ADC, but fair enough. They're gonna nerf Heart too. The ADC's Chloe, another one. Katja, they buffed actually. I thought Katja was fine, but they actually buffed her. They're gonna reduce her basic amp by 0.2% per mastery level. Yeah, and then finally, Hyunwoo. Boy Hyunwoo's average gain score is low at the moment, so we're helping him out to improve his damage to engage in sustained fights. I actually like playing Hyunwoo, so I'm happy about this change. I didn't think he was OP by any means, but I thought maybe he was like okay. But I'll take the increased sustain. So it's going up by 0.3 defense per level. His damage from his passive, it's like the enhanced attack after hitting someone X amount of times. I think it's 6 times at this point, is going up by 10 flat. Well, it's going from 40 to 90 to 40 to 100. You max this first, so you're pretty much going to be using 100 for most fights, and that's the only thing that's changing. The HP recovery is actually going up by from 7 to 15 to 8 to 16. It's really minor because again, you max this first, so 1% increase more, and it's like whatever. Armor, so chest piece Tuxedo is getting an attack speed nerf by 6%. I haven't seen many people Tuxedo, but I've only played probably like 10 to 15 games at this point, so maybe I've just missed that. Spectre is this is the crit chest piece, so it's going down by 3. It's fine. Well, Spectre's the upgraded crit attack power chest piece, so yeah, that makes sense. Blazing Dress is SP regen on it. They used to actually have SP on regen on it, if I remember correctly, back in like the early access days, and then they removed it. Aoyai, it's the my specific chest piece, is actually being buffed a little bit. Omerta, this is the CDR attack power chest piece, also getting SP regen on it and being buffed a little bit as well. Aoyai is basically the upgraded version of Omerta, so they're both just getting buffed. Tactical armor is going up by 2 AP. I don't think tactical armor. I think it's just like it has like a special effect on it. I'm sure it's fine. Phantom Jacket is not getting any attack power on it anymore. My scales with defense anyways, so I mean all auto attack scale with attack power, but my overall generally scales with defense, so it's not the worst change. It is a little bit of a nerf technically. Generally Mai's the one that wears this the most, but she could obviously give it to other people. Headpiece, the Black Death. Honestly, I don't remember seeing this headpiece at all. The scale is going down by 3. Yeah, and the Spirit Harvest is losing its stacks by like half. It's gonna do half as much damage as currently, at least the first hit. Second hit is being buffed by 10 flat, and the skill imp's going up by 10%. In Dwarf's helmet, max HP is going down. This is tank helmet. Crusader's helmet is getting now 400 max SP. Commander headset is getting 5 more defense, and the cooldown of the passive on it's going down by 3 seconds. GP and VG is unique passive. The max attack range, that's going down. Okay, yeah, this is built a lot on like ADC characters like Rio. Rio was using this item, and the character or the damage by character level times 6 is now going by times 2, so they're nerfing it in like 3 folds, so that's pretty significant. And the Start of the Wild's attack speed is actually going down by 6%. Yeah, that's a decent nerf. Arms drop near is being nerfed. This is like the meta arm piece right now for AMP characters, fair enough. Burning English Box is losing a bit of HP. Nightmare Meow is also, this is the meta arm piece being nerfed. This is the upgrade, obviously. It's the for legendary. When I mean meta legendary, this is like, I'd say like meta purple item epic. Magic Lamp HP level is going down by 2, and Smash Totem, the unique passive HP recovery is going up a little bit. Yeah, it's like Smash. I don't remember what this is, so that's why, because no one builds it. Leg, the Cowboy Boots is now getting 50% SP at regen. Mirage Lace Ups is getting 100% SP regen. I don't know what these boots are. I'll get more used to the boots as I play more this season. I just haven't played as much just because of how I've been sleeping the last few days. I've been missing rank a few times, that's all. Alexander's, these are the crit damage boots, are getting 1 more AP. No one's building them because they're building the new crit damage boots that also I think they have attack speed on them. That's what, instead of the attack damage ones. So yeah, I understand why they're building these ones, because everyone's building the other crit boots. Boots of Hermes are losing 3 defense. Mainly tanks build boots of Hermes, but it does have CDR on it. So yeah, again, more tanks like Lennox would like boots of Hermes. Consumables, beverage. So they've changed consumables because of the campfire change. They mentioned it. So now, in order to get boiling water, you have to go to a campfire instead of using a lighter, and it provides 230 more SP regen. Hot honey water used to do honey plus boiling water. Now it's just honey and a campfire. You get 3 of them instead of 2. Same with this. Now instead of ice plus boiling water, it's just ice plus campfire. And hot toddy, instead of whiskey and boiling water, it's whiskey campfire. And now there's hot sparkling water, which is carbonated water plus campfire. 1080 SP regen, you get 3 of them. Steam milk at campfire. Same thing. It's fine. Area's pond. We're increasing the size of boxes to include more items and compensate for certain items not included in pond. So they're adding 1 more bike helmet and 1 more paper to pond. And you can see they made this. This is the only thing they've done. They just increased the size of this particular bin and pond. Okay, sure. And Cobalt, fortunately, Cobalt's been kind of dead in at least North America. From my understanding, I haven't played a bit. I used to play a bunch during early access, but because of the rank changes, it wasn't like super hard to get ranked games, and so it's not super hard to get ranked games now overall. So I don't play Cobalt. But if you care about Cobalt, you can just pause the video here and read the changes yourself. I can't give an opinion on it because I don't play the mode at all. Yeah. So bug pick changes. Okay, so they're changing it so that non-enemy character kills will be separately displayed and not included in kill count of the team in the first place. It's fine. Yeah, let's see. A lot of just like random bugs are being fixed here. Oh yeah, I pointed this out in my video. The sandy mushrooms. Why do they call them sand cloud mushrooms? In the game, they're called sandy mushrooms. I said if you stand on top of the mushroom, It wouldn't give you invisibility. I guess this is the change they mentioned fixing. Because that's what I said in my video. It doesn't. I guess it's supposed to give you invisibility. That's the only thing I can think of when they mean oh correctly granted. Because that was a bug, I guess. Yeah, nothing else really obvious to me. Character improvements, broadcast's detail tooltip will not correctly match the skill damage and skill damage per level. It's just when she places the camera down, if you hit the camera with Q, it does damage. So that's what I guess that's what they mean. Gonzo quickly take damage from lightning strikes when using W. Okay, whatever. Because his W like reduces damage if he's hit in the front, but lightning's technically hits from above, obviously, so he shouldn't get the reduced damage if he uses W on a lightning strike. Gotcha. I'm gonna quickly using sniper skill. Okay, sure. And yeah, nothing else that's I'd say like super major. Skill preset while on cooldown. We're meant to add this information on 1.22, but failed to do so. Now when the remaining cooldown skill is very short, it will be able to reserve or preset that skill. Does that mean like buffer? Is that what it means by skill buffer? Like other presets can be canceled by another command. I guess that's what it means. So like if the skill has like 0.6 seconds and you hit it, then it'll be as if you're casting the skill immediately. That's the only thing I can think of what that means. I think that's like a good change overall, and again, you can cancel it by using another command instead. So yeah, that's all for this patch. Overall, I think the patch was honestly fine. Nothing really I don't think it was like an amazing patch or they had some good changes on it, like I said, with the just the system. The main one was I think the augments thing is quite nice, and yeah, that's really about it. Oh, and the cost of reviving. Character changes were overall I think fine, but nothing super impactful. I think nothing I can really say will shake up the meta that much, except for Leon. I think Leon. That's Nikki. Leon is definitely not going to be as strong this patch if you are going to play Leon. This for sure. Because this was a lot of his damage. Isaac's obviously going to be a bit weaker. And Rio's going to be a bit weaker. Rio shouldn't be as meta. It's hard to get on Rio if you have vision. If you control vision of an area, you pretty much should win the game for free. I played one Rio game this season. We were dominating the game, and suddenly I incorrectly didn't do vision properly, and I was sitting by a bush for a couple seconds, and Daniel was unfortunately waiting in the bush, and he just insta-killed me. We were gonna win that game, no problem. We got Wick. We were very strong. So yeah, that's the only time when Rio's really gonna die, is if she doesn't have vision of the area. So I think she won't be as strong, but I still think she's really good right now just because of how much range she has. That's my main comments. And this nerf, it will help a little bit, but I still think she'll be very prominent. And yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the patch. I'm also very excited to see Darko come out. I think he'll be actually good, at least for, yeah, I do think he'll actually be good. And I'm excited to see him in game. I don't know if his dash forward can go over walls. It doesn't say it can. That's the only thing I actually would like to know as well. I know it's a short dash, but there's obviously there's very thin walls in some areas, so it would be nice to know if that is possible. But anyways, I'll do a video next up on my first impressions of Darko, and yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the patch, and I hope to see you at another video.